Welcome to Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, relationships, and mental health. Our co-hosts are Imani Warren and Dr. Delvena Thomas. Now introducing our host, Nicky Says YOLO, Nicky Gelin.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of MIA Magazine Presents. So, I am your host. I'm Nicky Says You Only Live Once, and we have two special guests for today. So our first guest, he is the founder of 24 Marie Fine Art Gallery, and he is proud to announce a grand opening that took place last year, December. So let's welcome Gavin Jordan. We'll be talking about the 24 Marie Fine Art Gallery. And then we have a second guest coming up really soon. So make sure to stay tuned for that as well. So Gavin, welcome to MIA.
Thank you, Nicky. Thank you for that welcome and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. So let's get right into it. So have you always been in the art space?
No. So Nicky, as you can tell by my attire, right? I'm looking very corporate tonight. So I'm actually in my office, right? So Gavin doubles as an artist, an entrepreneur, and a business executive, right? I'm actually the chief operating officer of a business. Oh. So I have not always been in the art space, no.
So wait, I'm just really curious. So what vertical do you currently do business for in the corporate space?
Yeah, so I work for an investment bank.
Okay.
Right? So my professional training is as a CPA and a finance professional.
That is such a 360. So CPA and then do a whole big change into artist. Okay, that's fine. Yes. We're gonna talk more about that. So how would you describe your art?
So my art is a mix of impressionism, pointillism, and what I call perceptual art. So the piece that you're seeing on screen is actually made from screws and oil paint. So this is actually a three-dimensional painting with about 6,000 screws to create that particular image that you're actually seeing.
Wait, when you say screws, you mean like actual screws that you screw into?
I mean like actual industrial screws that you use to put up your drywall and screw board and so on. So this painting is actually done from about 5,000 screws that you're seeing currently.
So why screws? Why did you choose screws?
So I came across an artist in my creative journey, right, that actually used nails and a hammer to create artwork. And I tried that process for a while, but it was very difficult. And after hitting my fingers several times, I abandoned that project. But it gave me an idea of how to create a three-dimensional painting. So when you look at these paintings from different perspectives, it gives you a different feel, and you feel like you're interacting and the painting is actually moving.
Yeah.
Right. So this is also a 3D painting, and you probably can't see it as well on screen. But when you see it in person, it's actually made of screws, and the image is actually coming off the canvas.
Well, that's awesome. Wait, so do you actually paint the images on a canvas first and then you add the screws in afterwards, or?
No. So I actually put the screws in first, and then I go through a process I call sculpting, which is to get the contours right and the shapes right, and then I paint on each individual screw head. Right, so it's a very intricate process that takes anywhere from 2 months to 3.5 months, depending on the size of the painting.
Wow, no, that's very detailed.
Yes. I guess that's where my my linear accounting finance brain comes in.
That's where it comes into play, yeah. Exactly. With the altitude, the longitude, and
there you go.
Geometry, all that stuff. Okay.
Right.
So founder of this new fine art gallery is 24 Marie Fine Art Gallery. So yes. Tell us about the inception and the why behind it.
So when I started painting, one of the things I wanted to do was have a solo show. And, I don't know if you're that familiar with the art space, but, it can be very snobbish at times. And if you're not a named artist, it's hard to get that representation and visibility. So it took me after meeting with several galleries to figure out, get a space that was willing to show my work. So I said to myself, why not go the route of creating a space for yourself where you can actually show your work, and also by doing that, also support other artists who are going through the same thing, doesn't have the ability or getting that kind of visibility as it relates to their work. So this started early 2023. I found a space in Fort Lauderdale. We renovated the space, and it's now a space supporting diversity, and it's dedicated to the work of contemporary Black artists.
That's phenomenal. So I have more questions about why Fort Lauderdale, but first, what's behind the name 24 Marie? Who's Marie?
That's $1 million question, Nikki. So I've gotten that question so many times, right? 24 Marie is actually an address. It's actually 24 Marie Avenue, right? So it's an address in Edgewater, Portmore. I know you're Jamaican, so you know Portmore.
Yeah.
And it's an address I used to visit very frequently in my early adult life, right? And coming out of that address, I have two beautiful daughters. So, so I decided to, commemorate that nostalgic moment in my life by naming the gallery 24 Marie, which was a special place for me in my upbringing. Yeah.
So it's nostalgic for you.
Of course it is. Yes.
You brought that history or that experience over to Florida and Fort Lauderdale.
Correct.
So what kind of conversations do you want to spark with this gallery?
So one of the things that I have recognized coming into the art space is how underrepresented Black artists are in this space, right? In terms of the statistics, depending on what you look at, Black artists make up less than 10% of art and artists that are represented in galleries in the United States, right? So that's yes, it's a very small percentage. So I want a space that promotes diversity, right? And our culture is so there are similarities, but it's so different, right? American Africans are different from African Africans, different from Caribbean Africans, right? Our stories are different, so I want a space that will showcase these different and diverse stories about Black history, right? And to promote narratives that are not necessarily showcased in traditional galleries, right? So I want a space that is dedicated to supporting a minority group, right? So it's about diversity and inclusion for me.
And which leads to my next question. So located in Fort Lauderdale, Flagler
Yes.
Village. So why was this location so important to you for this gallery?
So Miami was an option, truth be told, but Miami is saturated with so many galleries, right? The space in Fort Lauderdale is not that big. There are a few galleries. I don't know of any galleries that are dedicated to showcasing Black art, so that was also a consideration. And the Flagler Village area is being coined as the Wynwood of Fort Lauderdale, right? There's a lot of investment being put in the Flagler Village to create a vibrant cultural art scene, right? So for me, it made sense to be a part of that transformation, and more specifically, to be a part of a transformation which is supporting diversity and inclusion.
Wow, yeah, because and the thing is, yeah, everybody thinks art is Miami, like Art Basel, Miami, or everything is in Miami. But Fort Lauderdale, which is Broward County, has a lot of great up and coming art experiences as well. So
Absolutely.
I want to applaud you for bringing that to Fort Lauderdale, because again, not everything is in Miami. There's there's a lot of talent in Broward County from the diaspora, from Europe. So let me ask you, wait, as far as the gallery, what kind of pieces does it showcase? Is it the African diaspora? Is it European? Like, what kind of pieces can we expect?
So we have at the gallery, we're showcasing 10 artists at the moment, including myself. Most of these artists are out of the Caribbean and more specifically Jamaica, right? But these are Caribbean artists who does artwork with a more contemporary flair, right? We have one other artist who is from Atlanta, who's part of the gallery as well, and we have a Jamaican Nigerian who's also showcasing some Afrofuturism type artwork, which is very different from an African, you know. So it's a diverse space. I started with a lot of Caribbean artists initially because that is a space I know, but I want to expand that to showcase, you know, African art and Black art from across the world. So we just started in November last year, and we expect to expand in 2024 and have more exhibitions, you know, showcasing different types of work.
Oh my God, we're looking forward to it.
Yes.
Well, Gavin, thank you so much. Again, so it's 24 Marie.
Correct.
Thanks for giving us that history as to the name 24 Marie, which brings us back to Jamaica. And thank you for bringing that experience to Fort Lauderdale, because we need more of that. So
thank you.
Thanks again, and I hope to see you again.
Yes. So let me
24.
Yeah, so let me put a plug here for the gallery and for myself. So we can be found on Instagram at 24 Marie Gallery. And for Gavin Jordan, you can follow me at Gavin Jordan Art on Instagram as well.
Awesome. Well, Gavin, thank you so much. And I will definitely be attending your next event. I'm in Broward County, so I have no excuses.
Of course, you need to stop by.
I got to stop by.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Gavin.
All right,
y'all,
Nicky,
we're going on to our first commercial break. But first, we have our second guest. She is Miami's own trailblazing business owner and viral influencer, Keisha Chenelle. So keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Celebrate 65 years of Ailey magic when Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater takes the stage with show-stopping performances, sure to thrill longtime fans and first-timers alike. Experience the latest premieres and contemporary favorites, plus Mr. Ailey's timeless masterpiece, Revelations.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family. Our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Join your favorite culinary stars February 22nd through the 25th at the Food Network South Beach Wine and Food Festival. Net proceeds benefit FIU. Tickets available now at SoBWFF.org.
At DRT Behavioral Services, we provide culturally sensitive mental health evaluations with thorough treatment plans, incorporating alternative forms of wellness, not just Western traditional medicine. Besides medication management and psychotherapy, we provide education to people in the areas of minority mental health with classes on your diet's impact on mood and sleep hygiene for better rest. We also offer weight loss therapy, massages, and facials. Visit brainlovehelp.com today.
When quality care is a priority.
At DRT Behavioral Services, we provide culturally sensitive mental health evaluations with thorough treatment plans, incorporating alternative forms of wellness, not just Western traditional medicine. Besides medication management and psychotherapy, we provide education to people in the areas of minority mental health with classes on your diet's impact on mood and sleep hygiene for better rest. We also offer weight loss therapy, massages, and facials. Visit brainlovehelp.com today.
And welcome back to our second guest, y'all. She is a trailblazing business owner and a viral influencer, none other than Keisha Chenelle.
Hey!
Well, thank you for being with us today. So let's get right into it. Now, tell us about the many hats you wear and which is your favorite?
Yes, I wear a lot of many hats. I'm a model, a definitely curvy model. Let's go ahead and put that out there. Actress, and I'm a singer-songwriter.
Okay.
But my favorite hat of them all, well, I like them all. I love the entertainment field, especially modeling and acting.
So modeling and act. Okay. So when did you get into modeling?
I got in modeling for some time. I think one of my biggest first thing that I have done was working with Nick Cannon. I worked with Nick Cannon for 4 years, especially whenever he came to Miami on tour. And that was really amazing and a great experience to be a part of.
Okay, wait. So that was like, wait. What year was that again for the Nick Cannon tour?
The Nick Cannon started 4 years ago.
Okay, guys, 4 years ago. Okay, got you. Okay. So wait, okay, I saw you on stage with Nick. So do you feel that the industry is now more inclusive of plus size models, or is more work needed to be done?
Okay, so I do feel like there has been the gap was definitely bridged as far as having more plus size and curvy models. I do know there was a time that I started way before I got on with Nick Cannon, and it was a struggle for me because they didn't really acquire women of my hue or size. And I just think within 5 years ago, it has drastically changed, which I'm so proud of because I feel like everybody's different. We all have unique, unique things about us. So why not include me? Why not include another girl that looks totally different from me? Because we're beautiful in our own way.
Yeah, and I can definitely attest to that as well. I do see it in mainstream media.
Right.
I do see a lot more of brown hues on billboards, on television programs, in magazines, and all that. And I really do appreciate that. And I do see that there's been an increase in representing different body shapes as well. So, but I wanted to get your input to see if from your eyes, if there's been a really big improvement or if there's more work that needs to be done. So, but I can definitely say that the streaming platforms, especially Netflix, they're definitely given a platform for voices,
right,
for plus size models and actors to be the lead in those type of programs. So I, for myself, I see it, but I want to know if is it just me or from yours, from your lenses, how do you see it as well?
You know what? That's a good question. As far as like acting, I think that there's still more work that needs to be done because I don't really see plus size or curvy women so much in the forefront or playing lead. We're always, the friend of the lead, or, we'll play like the best friend or the, and it's just like, we have love lives too. We have day-to-day struggles too that should be on the screen. And I feel like there's still work to be done, but I am happy with the progress that has been made, especially with both intertwined modeling and being an actress.
Yeah. So you're also like a viral influencer. Like, okay, so I gotta ask you, when did you realize that you were like an influencer and that you rose to fame on all the platforms? Like, tell us about that moment when you was like, oh my God, dang, I got over 1 million views. I'm like the ish right now.
Right.
Walk us through that moment.
So for me, I always saw myself as a model or an actress. But then I started making TikTok videos around the pandemic because I was super bored. And it was something fun to do while we were like quarantined and we couldn't go anywhere. You remember that time? So it started from then, and then I started to get brand deals from Fashion Nova, from Shein, from Macy's. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting paid. I can deal with this. So I might as well go ahead and add influencer to the many list of things that I do.
So what is that one video that you can't forget that went viral?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked that. It's actually pinned on my Instagram. It went viral, 17 million views. And I was literally walking outside of my house and I just started to dance. And everybody just fell in love with it. And it was, what would you do if your neighbors was from Arab? Or what would you do if your neighbors was from the islands? And so, we live in Miami and we have a melting pot. So each clip was me just kind of, I guess, promoting that culture.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And I follow you as well. And I want to applaud you for being so confident within your skin and your melanin and just showing, you know what, look, I don't have to be a part of societal's norm of what is considered beautiful. Like you went out there being your authentic self and look what happened. And that's what it's all about. So, which brings me to my next question. So you've added author to your resume. So tell us about your children's book, The Skin I'm In.
Wow. Okay. So this is so dear to me because out of everything I have done, this is my baby. This is something that is so dear to my heart because I've always wanted to write a book, and most importantly, I wanted it to be meaningful. And The Skin I'm In from A to Z came about with my son, who was 4 years old. Now he's 5, and he suffers from eczema. So he has eczema in his face. He has eczema all over his body. And this was just an affirmation book from A to Z that encourages young children and adults to just be happy that the skin that they're in. One of my favorite lines was, my skin is bold. My skin is caring. And those 2 lines to me spoke out because they mean so much to me. It doesn't matter what skin complexion you are or where you came from, or if you have a skin condition, so to speak, just be proud of the skin that you're in and just go out into society and be your best authentic self.
Yeah. So what do you tell? Okay. So first of all, what creates that condition to begin with? If you know.
Eczema, I just know that it's basically with dry skin.
Okay.
And we've tried a bunch of things. I have it like a little bit, but not so much as my son. But he's had it since he was 6 months old. So we do a lot of creams, we do a lot of oil, we do a lot of oatmeal bath, we do a lot of everything. But it's just a very flaky kind of on and off again type of thing. And so for him, I was just like, Tyler, how do you feel about your skin? And he's like, well, mommy, I feel like my skin is amazing. And that to me was like, okay, yeah, we've definitely got to make sure that all the other kids who might be going through something feel the same type of way.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. No, that is awesome. So congratulations on you being an author and just being a role model for your son as well. That's really important. So how can we find you and see what's coming up next? How can we find you?
Keep in touch. I can be found on Instagram, Keisha Chenelle. Chenelle is spelled Chenelle.
Perfect. Well, Keisha, thank you so much. Keep representing the melanin, different body shapes, plus
right. I think it all just goes together. Just, be comfortable in the skin you're in. If you're plus size, you're curvy, slim, tall, short, just go out there and be your best self.
Be your best self. Yes. Well said. Well, thank you so much. And girl, I will see you on the gram in your stories. I'll be stalking your page.
All right. Thank you. I'll see you. And thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you. And y'all, now we're going to another quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. So keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Celebrate 65 years of Ailey magic when Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater takes the stage with show-stopping performances, sure to thrill longtime fans and first-timers alike. Experience the latest premieres and contemporary favorites, plus Mr. Ailey's timeless masterpiece, Revelations.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman and Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman and Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Stars February 22nd through the 25th at the Food Network South Beach Wine and Food Festival. Net proceeds benefit FIU. Tickets available now at SoBWFF.org.
Okay, and welcome back. Well, thank you so much. And a big, big shout out to our guests tonight, Gavin Jordan and Keisha Chenelle. So y'all keep it locked. Make sure to visit MIA Magazine on IG and also MIA Media GRP. We'll see you on the next show. MIA. So...